Here we go. Did he hit that clean?
Oh. Obviously unsettled.
Threw him for a major loop there. Took him 2 shots to put the ball away instead of his customary 1. 15 love.
Regina, Peter's wife, is expecting their 2nd child in July.
Just jumped on that a bit too quickly, didn't he?
That's a tricky shot, though, Pat. You're not quite sure how to handle that one.
It's bouncing straight up, of course. It's not coming at you. So you have to, in a way, make your own pace.
Particularly when you're nervous. Everything is a lot tougher. Feet didn't move there. That's a sign of nerves.
Yeah, it's amazing. That's certainly... When I got nervous, that's what happened with me. I just couldn't move my feet. I just didn't seem to... They seemed stuck to the ground. And it took me a while to move better. And, you know, it usually take me a couple of games, especially on the ground strokes. I could always run forward to the net, though. What's the sun like down there?
Well, there doesn't appear to be a cloud in the sky at this point at about 2:15, 2:20 in the afternoon. I don't think it's a problem on this side for Korda. Nerves more of a factor at this time.
It is going to be awkward for the left-hander from the southern end, from the other end at this time of the day.
I mean, there's no doubt these 2 guys are going to be uptight. It's just who's going to settle down first is the issue. Just for the record, Rios defeated Korda here first round last year, 7-6, 3-3. Korda has 1 win, Key Biscayne 96 on hard courts. That was a tight 6-4 in the 3rd, best of 3 set match.
Advantage Korda.
What a mix, eh? Some brilliant shot making, unforced errors, Korda holds.
Well, either surprised Korda completely, or Korda's looking to conserve energy awful quickly. He made no effort whatsoever for that forehand. Taking a look at the 5-set matches Rios has played. Interestingly, 7-3, which is better than Korda's 12 and 11, I believe, coming into this final. Rios has won his last 7. I'll tell you, if this goes 5, I'll tell you who has the edge in this match. Marcelo Rios. Question is, can he get there? And he said things turned around for him when he came from 2 sets to love down and 2 sets to 1 down last year at the French against the Black brothers. Well, 2 things he should have learned from that tournament. One is he can come back from 2 sets to love down, which is good. The bad thing is that he put an awful lot of energy coming back, ended up losing the round of 16 to Arazi, talented Moroccan, because he didn't have a whole lot left. You know, we saw Arazi here can string some shots together like he did against Pete Sampras. But you got to be careful. You don't want to play. That's what happened at Scude. I mean, he had his miraculous run, 3 times, 2 sets to love down. But guess what? Tank was empty in the semis.
Lost just 3 sets, Rios, on his way here, and Korda 5. So he hasn't played a 5-setter at the 1998 Championships. It's Donovan Bailey, who we had on Sports World today, the world record holder for 100 metres and Olympic champion.
Oh, that guy is a hero. I'm big on sprinting. I'm a sprinter at school.
Very aerodynamic haircut, I thought.
Helps.
14-15.
He made mincemeat of Michael Johnson in that 150-meter race to the point where Johnson pulled up.
Did his hand
Dubious little hamstring pull there.
Cut it out, Mac.
Yeah. I'd like to see it again. I'd like to see a rematch, that's for sure.
That's it.
Games to 1 in the opening set. No telltale signs early in terms of...
Looks to me, Bruce, like they didn't warm up against lefties. I mean, they still haven't quite got the feel here. Obviously, nerves is a factor, but still the feeling out process going on. Despite the fact they've played 6 previous occasions, none as big as this. There was the part J.A. said the sun may bother the lefty on that particular side. He throws in the double.
Cashy.
Yes, sir. A little quirk. Watch Rios's front foot move. Just there. The interesting thing, Sampras moves his foot, toe up and down. Does it every serve.
Korda is just destroying a couple forehands here. He's really picked it up this game. I mean, Rios hits what he thinks is a good, deep topspin forehand. Korda just makes mincemeat of it. Love 40.
15-14.
I have to think there's a little bit of a surprise for Rios against the left-hander. That ball is normally going into a right-hander's backhand, so he's going to come back more steadily, and against Korda's forehand it got ripped back with interest.
14.
Both players have picked it up this game. And this is still a big opportunity for the Czech. Get off to an early break. 30-40 now.
Left. Second serve.
Ball dropped low. Got away with that. Almost threw in the double.
And Korda.
They had to love that second serve. Really had Korda in trouble, and really would love to have that forehand back. Just what the doctor ordered for Petr Korda. He can keep the ball deep. I don't care if you're Petr Korda, you're not going to hit a lot of winners from that position.
Rios has been dropping the ball a bit short. I mean, a sign of nerves, really, more than anything, I would have thought. It gives Korda the opportunity to really have a go at some of these ground strokes.
15 all.
Well, I think that's just about Petr Korda's best shot. Sending him some amazing passing shots off that one. One right down the middle. It's giving him no angle, but he seems to be able to create a beautiful shot off that one.
It helps being 6'3", and he's flattened out that forehand. Tremendous shot.
Left. That's it.
There was an example of a ball that was pretty deep, but didn't have anything on it. So Korda is talented enough that he did rip the winner from the baseline. Clearly surprised Rios. Slid in on the second serve. He's done very little of that his last couple years. Serve volley, particularly on a hard court surface. Had a gimme volley. Looked up at the sun. Maybe a few people believe I missed it because the sun was in my eyes. If I look up. You might not see it, but he doesn't have that quickness, that jump in his legs yet, which he'd clearly like to have. It's obviously, once again, the nerves. He just hasn't been able to quite get the feet moving. That's cost him that point as well. 15-40 now.
13-14.
I'll tell you, both players, though, the last year or two have improved their serves. Had more zip on the serve, winning more free points. Good time to do it there.
Beautiful fluent action. After a slight hesitation in the early part of the swing, good extension at the point of impact, which gives him good clearances over the net. He's up at 60% of first serves in. Rios just at 30%.
Well, interesting couple of games, weren't they? Breaks, firstly on Rios, but then immediately on Korda, so we're back on serve.
Well, if you look at the stats over the years, the highest percentage of breaks occur right after you've broken.
So what's your theory on that, John? Does the receiver lift or does the server tighten?
Both, actually, and that's why you see it more often than any other time. And then inevitably, the returner Korda being again, and will try to pick it up once again as he did this first point. A return gift there from the Chilean. So they're even in gimmies. No way Marcelo should have missed that. He actually was a little too far away from the ball. Love 30. So if I were Rios, I would try to keep these points nice and long and make Korda run early in this match as much as possible. The problem is he's so uptight that he's going for too much. Korda with 3 breakpoint chances once again. Horrible game there. You would have thought after breaking back that things would start to settle down, but no. Korda breaks once again. 4-2 first set.
Just wouldn't fancy it get broken here. I know it can happen, but he's had 1 warning already, hasn't he, Korda, in this set? Having got a break and then been broken. You'd fancy he'd hold here.
It's just not happening yet for the Chilean. Balls flying on him. He's missed some easy balls. Hasn't won many free points on the serve. Korda only too happy to take advantage early in this match. He's learned that shot where he lifts up one leg. Didn't work for him either.
Well, he only played 8 points in those 2 games and Korda won them all. And leads 5 games to 2 in the opening set.
Well, I'm looking for the 5-setter, so things are just getting going as far as I'm concerned, but Marcel's got to pick it up here. Couldn't miss that even if he tried. He's got some new balls, a little zip. Let's see if he can hold here, at least make Korda serve this out. Put some pressure on the check, which hasn't really taken place yet.
Well, I mean, I think Rios at the moment is just happy to sort of try and get the ball back in the court, you know. He's not really loosened up yet, has he? He closed on that one quickly. Kept coming forward.
Well, the guy I used to love to watch, who took the nice little stats, my old buddy Vitas Gerulaitis, God rest his soul, always seemed to be balanced. Korda looked a little off balance, lunging for that volley. Vitas Gerulaitis won the Australian Open in the 70s.
77?
Big final with
beat John Lloyd in 5 sets.
Cramped up again.
He's doing exactly what Korda wants. So not only is he tight, which we all knew coming in, but he's not making Korda work for the points. This has been a virtual gimme. They've only been on the court what, half hour or less. Just what the doctor ordered for the check.
14-13.
But believe it or not, even though he's well behind the baseline, look to guide that a little bit. Just missed the ball wide. He's got so much feel that he, even from that position, he's guiding shots. Korda continuing to dictate play, and you hit shots like that, you're going to win a Grand Slam tournament.
Advantage Rios.
It just looks to me like Rios is either half expecting or half hoping that Korda's not going to get these balls back, that he's going to win a lot of free points, and so far it has not happened, particularly off the serve. Korda has not had a lot of trouble with Rios' serve. I like to talk about it on clay or grass more so than in this service, but when you go behind your opponent, it's tough to stop that body on a dime and start going back the other way, and Rios nowhere near that. This is set point now for Petr Korda.
Juice.
Korda's looking for that ball to the forehand, that serve to the forehand. He's making a shuffle across to cover that. Shuffle across to the forehand on both first serves, just here.
If you're playing a lefty, Pat, look for that serve out wide on the ad court.
Advantage Korda.
Just can't get anything going right now.
Again, set point. He just desperately needs to hold a serve, doesn't he? He's been broken in consecutive games coming into this one. So a second set point to Petr Korda.
Thank you very much, says Petr Korda.
Yeah, threw that one away, didn't he?
My feeling going into this match, if Korda lost the first set, he would be in real trouble. So it was very important for him to win it. Rios losing the first set, I think the match is still very much alive. We've seen Korda play like this, but not for 3 continuous sets. A couple of times he's lost the third set, run out of steam, lost his edge, and then come back strongly in the fourth. And that's pretty much the pattern of this match so far. The added advantage that Korda has had, of course, is winning this set so quickly, well under half an hour, and at very little expense. Very cheap on the fuel. He's running like a little 4-cylinder.
He certainly started this game hot. The second serve ace and just a gorgeous backhand cross court. Beautifully placed, quickly to 30 love. Well, that's when you're confident. You come in on a shot like that. He just sort of meandered his way towards the net because he says, I'm so talented I can hit the ball from anywhere. They used to call it no man's land between the service line and the baseline, that you did not want to hit balls from there. Well, they're not telling the men's player anymore that in the 90s. But Rios should have done more with that. Should have seen Korda coming in out of the corner of his eye. I don't know if he wants to trade shots with Korda either. I'm not sure that's the answer. But he's frustrated. He's down a set quickly. He's down 40 love. So
Korda didn't win a set against Courier in '92 at the French. So he's on the board in Grand Slam finals in terms of having won one. So he's going to feel really happy.
Well, he'll feel a little better if he loses in 4. I'm not sure it'll matter a whole lot if he ends up losing this in 4.
Game Korda.
He's going to be pretty happy at the moment, doesn't he? He's going well. set up and held serve comfortably. A Grand Slam title in the Open era. I think it's 37 or something like that. The club. Mac and Cashier amongst it.
Lock 15.
Well, Korda's making Rios look a little slow at the moment, isn't he? He's certainly not getting into position. He's hitting a lot of winners. Korda's hitting a lot of winners past him.
15 all.
That's interesting. Rios took a little bit extra step. He's a bit wider there. See how wide he is from the tee. Gave Korda the hold down the line shot, which he went for and just missed.
There's a nice move there. A little serve volley, change things up. He's been around long enough to know that he needs to fix a few things here right now. Love won now at 30-15 the second game. And as Pat pointed out, he's got to get those feet moving. He cannot afford to give this many free points to Korda.
And also, Korda saw him serving wide again, and he missed the forehand the point before, but he didn't miss the backhand then. And Rios was right on the run. I don't know if it's a wise thing to be serving that wide on the backhand side. The second court, should call it this match.
Sir Cliff Richard, who performed at the Hall of Fame dinner on Friday night when John Newcombe and Tony Roach were inducted.
He's serving around 40% now, Bruce, and that's it's not going to get the job done.
Correction, Clayler, please.
He started to call out.
That was a well. If that guy did call it out, it was a good overall because it was well inside the line. He started to call it out. I'm not sure what he started to do, but
his hands indicated safe.
Maybe Wayne McEwen thought the person was going to call it out. Bottom line is, fortunately for Rios, he's held serve finally.
Well, he needed a break, didn't he? He's been broken in 3 consecutive service games, so he needed a lucky break maybe to get back. It's 1-all.
Do you guys feel, well, John, do you feel like the ball is flying a little bit today because of the heat?
Very much, very much. The only advantage, or good news, is that it's been going that way the last couple days, so the last 3-4 days here has been quite nice. But it hasn't been as hot, and it's not as big an occasion, so it does appear to be flying even more today. That ball certainly...
We're likely to see a whole bunch of winners, but we're also likely to see balls like that.
Well, that's normal with Korda. You know, that one went awry. That's nothing different.
But when the conditions get light like this and you lose your confidence early in the match, it's hard to regain it. So every time you seem to hit out at the ball takes off on you.
That's an excellent point, because it looked at 3-2 with Rios to serve that he had things sort of settled down, gotten the break back, and no, he tensed up even further. And he still hasn't loosened up yet. Guarantee he doesn't feel like he's really in this match yet. But in this heat, a couple points, you know, a point or two, a couple long points, big passing shot, bit of a break, a let cord, that could do the trick. Will not take much for this young Chilean to get in this match. So far, Korda's made it awfully difficult for him. He's about to explode. He said, all I'm trying to do, for God's sakes, is get the ball in the court, and I can't even do this. This is pathetic. Surprisingly, Korda with more unforced errors in this match.
Sounds more like you, Max. Sorry.
Oh.
for him.
It's early days, admittedly, but Korda 2-1 now in the second set. And pat up the top.
Love 15.
Well, I've got an interesting replay we're going to try and get up. This is the last game, the last point. Check these backhands out.
Tells the story, doesn't it, Pat? Rios a little tense, pushing the ball into court, and Korda in full flight.
He's deadly as soon as something gets a little short. Not even a little short at times, as we saw before.
Love 13.
Yeah, maybe you're starting to say what you were saying before, Mac.
It's getting late early.
Goddamn ball in the court.
See, now you understand.
15-13.
This is where what I would do is you try to take a little more, don't hit it quite as hard the first serve, put a little more spin on it. I mean, swing as hard and go for placement. And then I would play points just like that. Well, really dig deep and make Korda work hard to win points.
That's the first time he's actually had a chance to get round and hit that forehand that he likes so much.
Because at the end of points, he's going to start hitting the winners when Korda fatigues, which will only give him confidence. The next point, that's the best couple points he's strung together today. Been a big time to do it from love 30. What were those guys yelling? Get me a cappuccino or something? We could use a couple. On second thought, we're so fired up that I'm not sure we need them.
2-all in the second.
Well, he certainly stopped the rot, and he has to do it at the beginning of this second set. From 2 sets to love down, I don't think he's going to find a way to win. But he was down love 30, and Korda was starting to look awfully good, so he's settled things down.
Thanks.
I agree with Mac. He's got to get more spin, not only on his serve, but in the back of the court. I think he's hitting a little bit too flat, and that's compromising his control. He needs to have that feeling that he's swinging at the ball and still got a little bit of margin to play with.
Love 15.
It's very clear when Agassi played against Costa how flat he could hit the ball at night, and then when he played Gordenzi during the day, how much more work he put the ball on to give himself some tolerable margins.
He went for the inside of the line instead of the outside of the line.
Yeah, exactly.
He really compromised.
So much easier for the linesman to call that way. For the time being, Petr Korda has so much confidence. He's hitting out full-paced and making a very high percentage of these balls with very small margins. Not much over the top of the net there and just inside the baseline. It really flattens out the forehand. He's playing with supreme confidence. One of the few times Korda's been forced to defend, slicing the ball deep.
Rios' forehand, he opens up very nicely here. See the roll of the wrist? You can get that spin. That was up quite high. He's not. The guys was talking about getting a bit more of that spin on the lower balls.
Lower, higher, middle, whatever ball. Like Jay said, swing is hard, but put a little bit more spin on it. And things are slowly starting to come together for him now. He's scrambling a little better. He looks like he's a little bit more sure of himself. Take a look at Petr Korda's wife there, looking concerned but excited. Tomas Petera, his second stint, excuse me, as Korda's coach. Actually coached him a couple years ago. Then went to work with Martin Dam, a couple others, and now they're back again. Korda said, "You're making a big mistake if you don't come back and coach me." Fulfilled a previous commitment with Uli Rock and came back to work with Petr.
Well, Rios disappointed, but we feel he's getting back into it a bit. Korda holding. It's 3 games to 2. Korda won the first set 6-2.
Get Rios' first serve percentage up. Still well below 50%.
At 5'9", it's absolutely critical that he's got full extension at the point of impact, and that can't be compromised by a lowish ball toss. I think at times he gets it up high enough, he just lets it drop too far.
Again, just not doing enough of that ball, dropping it in the middle of the court and letting Korda do what he wants with it.
Well, Korda's crushing the short balls. You see Rios is pushing the short balls, just move backwards, and that's not a good idea against a guy who hits the ball as well as Korda does. He cannot believe that he's playing, really, to be honest, as poorly as he's playing. Not only is he doesn't have the feel, but decisions he's making, he's just not making the proper tennis decision, shot to hit. That was just too good from Korda, though. But you would have liked to see him put a little bit more on that forehand. Now he's got 2 break points. They go up 4-2 the second set.
Oh dear. Dear, dear, dear.
Interesting turn of events.
That is not a time. Down 2 break points and a set.
It's not a time to get a bad call, is it, Pat?
No, not at all. I mean, yeah, what can you say about that? This is what happens, you know, matches every day. Is that
I don't know if that was clearly in or out.
Good overrule.
That was good overrule, absolutely good overrule. But I'm saying is that what a bad time for the guy to open his mouth. That's what happens. It's a break now. You can't tell me that these line calls are not absolutely crucial in the final of the Australian Open. And this could have caused, you know, a 2 sets to love lead.
Well, McEwen, let's remember, overruled that, and they played a lead.
No, I mean, that's what he had to do. That's why I'm all for the electronic line system. Cuts out the human error.
Setting 4-2 for the Czech early in this match, but it's moving along rather quickly, Bruce, from down this angle.
No doubt, he looks completely confused, doesn't he, Rios? 1-8-4 for Korda.
He's got to keep himself from getting overly discouraged, though. He's got to pick it up mentally. Everything was fine until he went for too big a forehand. I'm not quite sure why he rushed things there, unless he's not as fit as we know, as we thought.
Well, fitness really shouldn't be an issue to this point because he just hasn't done that much work, but it is hard to understand why he went for such a big ball. There's going to be no benefit. It wasn't as if he was going for the winner. It wasn't going for a line.
40 love.
Korda's second serve now picking up in pace. That one at 171, and I think that's a real sign of super confidence. Appears much hotter up the Rios end of the court.
It appears from down here that he's not real concerned about Rios' return of serve, so he's able to go for pretty much whatever he wants. If he misses it, he just kicks in his second serve, and after one shot seems to be ahead in the point.
As John said, it's moving pretty quickly. It's 6-2 and 5-2 for Petr Korda.
There was that moment a couple games back where it looked for a second like he was starting to get in the flow, but it slipped away. Sure doesn't look like he's got much of a game plan at the moment.
We talked about it in the break. It sounds ridiculous, but you almost feel like he wants to go and have a bit of a cry. I mean, he's completely confused.
I want to have a bit of a cry, so he's bordering on suicidal right now. I mean, nothing's working. It's a total mismatch so far. And he's just in danger of letting this second set slip away right now. Love 30. Crowd is stunned right now, Bruce. I never thought we'd ask, where are the Swedish fans when we needed them?
Well, he's got some fans here, but they just haven't had a chance to say anything, have they?
Didn't scare Korda a whole lot at 5-9, serving and volleying there. Triple set point, one save there. Finally got a first serve in. What was he thinking there? It's set point. Someone tell Rios he was down set point there.
New balls for Korda. There was not too much wrong with the depth on the Rios backhand. Just another superb winner from Petr Korda. And his confidence is again lifted to a new plateau.
Boy, that was a close call. Rios not happy, but you talk about staying down with the backhand.
Again,
it looked like he got the edge.
It's always reassuring to hear an umpire say that, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd love to hear that, especially when you're down 2 sets.
Especially when you think he's missed it by about a foot.
That looked wide to me.
But the umpire's angle at looking at that ball from outside of the court may make it look closer to the line than it actually is. That's why I often think it's easier to call the ball for the umpire on the far line.
Well, it's easier for them not to call it at all, like Pat said. Get that electronic equipment working. Imagine if there was no mistakes. I mean, that'd be something.
We'd have nobody to blame, though.
Well, we could come up with someone. Don't worry. Rios thought he hit a good approach shot there, but Korda said enough of that.
I mean, Rios has got to hit a good approach shot. His reach and his volleying is not fantastic, but I mean, boy, that was a great passing shot.
Small mercy at the moment for Rios.
I just have not seen one point where Korda has been breathing hard yet in this match. That was just the way he'd like it. Thank you.
Rios gambled and it paid off. Look at this. Rios moves before Korda makes the backhand down the line and really rams it low and hard. Korda finding it impossible to control the volley.
Well, Rios in a real hole here. It's 6-2, 6-2, 1 love for Korda.
Real love one here. How about right now? You got to admire, though, the amount of zip that Korda, not to mention the placement and the variety he has off the ground right now. It's frightening, it's particular to Rios. He stayed with that one. He's got to stay with his shots. Don't pull up. Keep his cool.
John, Pat talked about earlier about whether there was more pace today because of the conditions. The ball is getting to Rios so quickly, isn't it, from where we're sitting?
In Escudé, in all honesty, which he did play in the heat a couple days, it was like a sitting duck. He had nothing left physically, so that was no test at all for Rios.
15-13.
I'm sure this is the first time in an open era a Chilean player has reached the finals of a Grand Slam event, so he'd like to do better than this. That's what he's hoping for, some freebies. Take the pressure off a little bit. Hope Korda drops down a little bit.
I'll give you an extraordinary statistic. Petr Korda has committed 20 unforced errors. Rios only 22.
I don't believe it.
The forehand winners 9 to Korda. 5 backhand winners, 3 and 0 for Chile. So he's winning it more than losing it.
In a lot of misses today, isn't he? Notice that.
Well, when you're nervous, you have a tendency, Pat, to take your eye off the ball, and he's giving us a lesson in nerves right now, how not to deal with the big situation. But there's not a lot of guys that have to deal with Korda, who's playing the best tennis I've ever seen him play at the moment. I mean, this tournament, other than maybe that Sampras match at the Open last year, beat him in the 5th set tiebreaker, I believe. Oh, no. Boy, he just cannot believe that this has happened. I can't believe this one-sided.
I think none of us can.
And the other thing,
it's going to be a tight 4 or 5 set match, didn't we?
Yeah.
Well,
I was quite happy when Korda won the first set from the prospects of having a great match, because I thought that Rios would always be able to upset him at least one set. But Petr Korda is just spooky in that he is so calm and so contained and so matter-of-fact. Well, he is not erring.
Bit of experience there, isn't there? He's proves that 30-year-olds can play.
One of the greats of all time, Bill Tilden, didn't win a Grand Slam until he was 27, and he won a stack of them.
I mean, that's a defensive shot there that Rios should be making. You know, he could float that back in at the back of the court. You know, he's just got to get it over.
Well, apparently that's easier said than done, Pat, at the moment.
Oh, sure, but you know, I mean, he's really got to dig deep. Here's a time where you just got to, you know, I mean, certainly you got to get that ball in.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an approach shot that is a very easy shot.
He can't let Korda have those points. He's got to batten down the hatches. He's got to fight. And he's got to demonstrate to Korda that he's willing to fight.
He sure
he's not
hasn't,
going to lie down.
He sure hasn't done it yet, Jay.
Nope.
His feet are just. Pat was talking about the glue effect, and he's got to change sneakers here, I think, on the changeovers, because he's got a couple of packs on his feet.
Certainly from here, it's like they're stuck to the ground, huh?
40-15. Game Korda.
3-love now. In the third, 6-2, 6-2, 3-love.
Korda leads 3-1.
Bailey, who won the Olympic 100 metres in Atlanta in '96 and broke the world record.
First time in a while that Petr Korda's looked mildly uncomfortable. Stretching for that backhand.
Flip the net post there. Not sure if that's good. If it hits that particular part of the post, went out anyway. 30-love. This is a surprise, an easy game for Rios. God, let's hope. Let's hope there's a match here. Yeah, I hate to see. I hate to hope there's a match at the expense of the way Korda's playing. I just hope Rios really picks it up. Not the Korda comes down. That's a good sign that he's still got some good feel.
Cruel the way he can hit winners.
Well, he shouldn't be expecting Korda to miss now. I mean, he should know better 2.5 sets into this match. The Korda's in the zone. It looked once again like he half expected that ball to go in the net. Now it's 40-30.
It's a bit of relief. He's on the board in the third set. Some people probably were betting it would have been love at 3-love.
Look at Petr Korda's backhand here. Look, he doesn't move his feet hardly at all. No more of this sort of put the other foot across. He was right open. So allowed him to rotate his hips. And that's where his hips and his shoulders where Korda gets a lot of the power. Obviously the timing as well. There we go.
Well, I think he thought going in that he could hurt Korda off the second serve. That ball kind of sat there. And that's what he's been waiting for an awful long time.
One of the slower second serves he's done at 124. Early in the match, Petr served a couple of double faults with other timid second serves.
Well, that was disconcerting to the players. Someone yelling out that it was out.
That's all I can do on that.
Both players, could you please not call out during play? Thank you.
Well, you notice Rios stopped playing. Certainly Korda hesitated, and that is a real no-no. I mean, fans can do a little bit better than that. At love 30, exactly what he didn't want to do was just miss a forehand by 15 feet. Now that's a perfect example of a top player just taking his eye off the ball. Don't want to do that at any level. And there was a great opportunity. Really did well to do something with that forehand return, but just flicked that backhand long again.
It's like he looked at an old friend just then and it had deserted him, his racket. Couldn't believe it. Well, John, I reckon Rios needs this, and boy, so does the match. Nothing against Korda.
Well, this is when I come from this angle now, talking behind the mic. I'm looking forward to another couple hours of tennis. I just don't want to be at Korda's expense, his game starts falling apart. Let's see Marcelo Rios pick it up and make this a tremendous final.
Not a full attempt by Rios to chase that forehand down. Just when he is playing his way into this game, and he needs to give absolutely everything. Admittedly, this is a great forehand by Korda, but he gives up halfway across. Could have got his racket to the ball, maybe got it back into the court. You'd never know it unless you try.
This is where you got to dig deep, though, because you know Korda's sucking wind a little here. Good chance for Rios. Makes another unforced error. It's number 26 for Marcelo. Couldn't have come at a worse time.
Korda in control. It's a final that needs a lift and needs a lift in a hurry.
We'll try a half volley from the position he was in behind the service line. That is a tough shot. Got himself in trouble. Once again, Korda took advantage. That serve looked a little long. I'll tell you, both players thought it was long. Rios would be more than happy to take that. Strong recovery after that first point hiccup. It's that serve. See, the serve is picked up. It's made things easier, but unfortunately, he's down a couple sets.
Yes, he is, and down 4-2, John, but I get the feeling that things are just turning just a little bit. He does not hit quite so cleanly off the back line. He missed a lot of first serves in his previous service game, and his second serve was down below 130 Ks for the first time. He was really nursing it in. That gave Rios the chance to have made the break. So where there's life, there's hope. Great scoring system in tennis, isn't it? Doesn't matter how far you're behind, you can still manufacture a win, theoretically.
Made no attempt for that. At this stage, even a fake would have made Korda think a little bit, but when you see him standing there outside the line, just say, go ahead, hit it to the open court. It's all yours. That's too easy. Of course, the likelihood is he would have lost the point anyway, but
got nothing to lose at this stage.
Exactly.
There's the second serve again, a little bit tentative.
Remember, he had break point the previous game.
Well, Korda's got to go off the boil at some stage. Saw him go off the ball in the semi-final in the third set. He hasn't really gone off the ball yet.
So that match in the semis, though, has a lot of points were played. Tough points. Kuchera made him work a lot harder than Rios has so far in this match. Once again, that lefty serve out wide. Rios just pushing that backhand back, and Korda can do anything with that forehand. The only place on the court where Korda's looked at all sluggish is a couple lunge volleys. Unfortunately, it's only happened about 3 or 4 times in this entire match. Once again, they're a little late getting to that half volley. 30 all. Desperate time for Rios.
And Korda taking a lot off the first ball, wanting to get it in at just 160 Ks.
Missed that by a mile.
Second serve has deserted him.
Oh, well, this is Rios' second chance. They often don't come twice. You let the last one slip. You really can't afford to let this one go. Let's see how tough he can play this one out. Well, I think he was going for the right shot, get it down the line, hit a good shot, but his timing's just completely off.
So far behind the baseline, he wasn't going to play a winner, even if he hit the ball virtually on the line. I can't understand why he went for so much at that moment in the rally.
I don't think he went for that much, Jay. I think he just tightened up so much that he just nowhere near getting that ball in the court.
Korda is tightening up. That ball hit the ground. He indicated the ball was out just to help the linesman. Very kind of him. He's on the verge of winning his first Grand Slam at 30. And there's some real luck. That's twice this game. His second serve has hit the top of the net and gone into court.
Andres Gomez, another lefty, the last guy 30-1 to win his only major French Open. And you get the feeling if Rios can break here, he can turn this thing entirely around. So it ain't over yet. Korda missed that by 10 feet in any direction. Bruce, I'm sorry, Jay. I don't think that Rios hit any string on that return whatsoever.
That was a one-wood, wasn't it?
A strange point, huh? I mean, Korda came in off a very bad approach shot and just said, look, Rios, hit that past me.
That wasn't close to the line, didn't make him run, and worst of all, straight into his forehand.
It's the first real sign of nerves. Obviously, early on, they're both going to be nervous, but clearly Korda now sensing victory.
He's hanging in there. 192 the first serve. It's been a lot of time and effort expended over the years for Petr Korda to get to this point. He is one of the valiant players who did come back from 2 sets to love down. Against Jonas Bjorkman.
Well, it's interesting. He's tightening up a little bit. It's hard to know exactly what to do when you've been winning the match so easily and your opponent's making a lot of mistakes. You don't want to overhit. You don't want to underhit. So experience counts.
I'm sure the same thing would be just fine. 2 sets, 4-2.
Your brain just takes over. That's the problem. Oh.
Boy, and a big reaction too, look.
Happy to get that game. Yeah, 5-2. Third set.
That's a chant.
Some intensity in there. And now Peter's got to decide, does he try to wrap this up at 5-2? Or does he really take it easy this game? Concentrate on winning his serve for the match.
Oh, no, I'd be going to break. He certainly doesn't want a few nervous double faults like last game.
Right, he's been down break points the last 2 times at serve, and that yell just showed the intensity that's locked up in Petr Korda.
What I think's amazing is, I talked to you about this, Mac, before, but the relief when you win a Grand Slam, more than the ecstasy, because you're concentrating so hard.
Well, he's talked about enjoying the moment, and he's done a pretty good job this tournament. He's actually looked like he's, for the most part, enjoying himself.
And he's almost there now, isn't he?
He's certainly enjoying things right now. 2 points from his first slam. Could be witnessing the reverse somersault any second now.
Two championship points to a 30-year-old.
Hour and 23 minutes in. Peter not sure about that call, but still has one more match point.
That's relief, isn't it? What a great moment for him. He must have played most of his tennis life thinking he wouldn't have achieved this.